Hey guys, it's Adam with Detailers of Sarasota, and today we are at the Sheriff's Department working on their brand new mobile command center. This is quite the undertaking. It's essentially a huge RV, but they use it for negotiations, a lot of cool stuff that they use it for. Today we are doing essentially a waterless wash on the whole thing. We're gonna clean the wheels, we're gonna shine the tires. Nothing too much, all exterior, but this is brand new. The department just got it in, it just got a brand new paint job, so it's very lightly dusty. It doesn't really require us to pull it outside and do a proper wet wash on it. So we're gonna do the same O&R, rinseless wash on the whole thing, dry it up, and we should be just about there. This is called Optimum No Rinse. We just used this in the last video on the fire truck. We're gonna use it again here. This is a great product when you don't wanna do a typical, normal wash on it. It's essentially a nice lubricity agent. It's gonna make sure you can wash it, wipe it, and you're not gonna be scratching any of the paint. So you don't need much. You just pour a few ounces in here with just some water. You're gonna wanna wring it out, get it almost dry just to where we're not dripping. We're gonna start up top and work our way down. You can see we essentially just act like we're just wash mitting the whole car. And I know if you're starting off in detailing, this can seem counterintuitive. It seems like we might be scratching it, but that's the great thing about Optimum No Rinse is it really makes it safe to do this and then safe to go back with the towel and wipe it. So the way we're doing this is I'm going and washing, and then Steve's gonna follow up behind me with the drying towel. And we're essentially just gonna work our way down, top down, all the way to the bottom. Anytime you're using a bucket, you wanna be sure you got a good grit guard in there, if I can pull it out. See these holes on the bottom? And we got them on the top. So essentially every time I'm reaching my nip deck in here, I'm rubbing it like that. All the dirt particles are gonna fall through those holes, and then they're not gonna be able to come back up. So all the dirt's gonna stay trapped at the bottom, making sure that we can really safely wash this as easy as possible. So we can't show you guys exactly what's inside. We gotta leave some secrets for the boys, but essentially the whole back half of this is a big conference table, essentially a meeting room if there's any kind of crisis, anything like that. They're gonna come back in here, sit in the conference room, have a good round table. The front half, they kind of have a few cubicles in there that they use for essentially 911 operators. It's really cool in there. I wish we could show you, but maybe next time.
'Cause my mother told me as a child, boy, don't play around with fire, 'cause you might just end up getting burned. And I know it can never rest, so I always try my best. But there's some lessons hard for me to learn, like good boys don't play with bad girls.
So I just dropped these hatches down to see if we got to clean anything in here. I think the answer is no. This thing is literally brand new. There's not a speck of dust even on the top of the batteries. It's absolutely crazy. So we'll keep those shut. Just a few spots we gotta wipe maybe in here, get some of this dirt off of in there. But this thing is pretty spotless. All right, so now that we've got the sides done, we're gonna blow out our pads. We got the front and the back. We're gonna make sure our pads are totally clean, make sure we can get the front all dialed in, and then finish on the back end. I want to show you guys something when we dump this. Yeah, not too much. It's actually pretty good, but you see these big chunks of dirt? That's what that grit guard's helping to pull back up, so it's exactly what we want. All right, so we're gonna take our nozzle off, let this fill up for us. We're gonna put some more rinseless wash in there and get this thing finished up. All right, so now we got some fresh water back in the bucket. The pads are cleaned out. We're gonna dump some more O&R in there, but as you can see, you really don't need too much of this stuff, maybe a couple ounces, if that right there. So we're gonna let that sit, jumble it up a little. And then we're good to keep going. If you guys had to guess How much you think this camera cost? More or less than $100,000?
Step by step, I walked 100 miles and I still ain't sure just what I'm trying so hard to find. The night seems longer and the wind blows louder when you wander so far from home. If I cross your mind, say a prayer, I'll find my way and get off of this lonely road. Off of this lonely road, off of this lonely road, off of this lonely road, off of this lonely. Get off of this lonely road. Would you catch me? Tell me, would you catch me if I told you I was sorry? Could I fall into your blessing? Would you wrap your arms around me? Never drown me if I walk towards the light.
All right, you guys, so now it's time for one of the most fun parts of the detail, the tire shine. We're gonna use a paint gun. We're using 3D's Ultra Protectant. It is a water-based tire dressing, kind of rubber vinyl dressing. We're gonna start on the tires, we're gonna push it up and out, and we're gonna keep the air down so that way we can control the overspray on this. But as you'll be able to see, it's really not too much overspray. It's very, very minimal. We're gonna take it slow around the inside, and we'll speed it up as we get farther away from the wheel. Now, for the longest time, I was against using paint guns. I'd see videos of guys using them, blowing big clouds. I finally decided to give it a shot. And we do it for a couple reasons. One, the uniformity. It's a lot more uniform than using a brush, because when you're using a brush, you're putting it on, but you're also taking it off at the exact same time. So also at the bottom, we can easily reach it with air. If air can reach it, we can reach it with tire shine. You're not gonna get a brush at the bottom of those tires. But as you can see, this is gonna sit down for another 10 minutes and it'll start to level itself out. And to those that don't know, I used to paint cars for a few years. That was pretty much my job out of high school. I worked for a few different body shops. The body shop I finished at was mainly exotic. So we were doing matte Lamborghinis, old Duesenbergs, really unique one-off stuff. So that got me really proficient with a paint gun, and this kind of brings me back to my old painting days. So it's kind of fun. All right, you guys, so we're nearing up the detail. One of the last things we're gonna do is use Renegade's Easy Red. It's a sprayable metal polish, super easy to use. It's really light work. We're just gonna put a few sprays on. I'm really just running over these bumpers, just essentially act like you're putting a wax on, checking for any little last bugs, any little water drips that are dripping off the roof. And then we'll go back with the drying towel and essentially just buff that off, and we'll be looking all good. We're gonna use this too for the grill, but there's really not too much chrome on this, mainly all right up here on the front and on the wheels, but the wheels wiped up pretty easily, no need to polish those. Tell you what, every time we clean this, every area, I'm seeing more lights, more cameras. This thing is decked out. Whoever wired this thing, shout out to you, bro. If I didn't hit this mirror tonight, I wouldn't be able to fall asleep, so we're detailers, we gotta do it. Even though it really doesn't need it, in my eyes, it needs it. Shout out Dr. Parker, don't forget to floss. All right, you guys, we're almost done with the detail. One of the last things to do now is see if we can remember how to put this ladder back together. So I believe he flipped it up. So right here, there we go. Boom, that's it. All right, you guys, one of the last things we're gonna do is just open up all these hatches, essentially just hit the door jambs of them. But isn't this crazy? Big flat screens right here. This is what we need on our detailing van.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John Brown come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, what you gonna do. Yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits.
All right, you guys, and just like that, we are done with the Sheriff's Command Center. This thing was a fun detail. We did the O&R rinseless wash on everything. I went around with the Renegade sprayable polish, hit all the chrome up front, got the tires dressed, and then we went through all the cabinets and cleaned out all the door jambs. Really nothing too crazy, really the most standard of the standard detail that we offer, but I think this came out really cool. We're excited for the next one. If you guys like the content you're seeing, our goal of our YouTube channel is to have unique, one-off detailing stuff. So I think we're doing that so far. If you like what you're seeing, give us a like, subscribe, I don't know, do whatever you want to do.